Hi, I'm Jackie. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Over the last few months, CathayOz has been sailing up the Queensland coast, and we have now made it to the wonderful Whitsunday Islands. When Australians think of boating in the tropical paradise, this is the place that they want to go to. Now you can do almost everything on and in the water. The best time of the year to be here is actually in the middle of the southern winter. At this time of the year, the weather is warm and the deadly jellyfish that make summer swimming dangerous are away somewhere else on their own holiday. Come with me now as I find out for myself what the Whitsundays are all about. It is time now for you to meet the other member of the CathayOz crew. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Jacqueline.
So far, you have been in the background of my journey. And now we get to meet you face to face.
Yep, it's me all right. And it's about time that I came out of the shadow. This series is still all about Jackie and CathayOz, but I'm going to be around a bit more making the background look untidy.
Well, as long as you understand, that is my show.
Your servant, madam.
Okay.
Our first destination in the Whitsundays will be fabulous Whitehaven Beach. This is the place everyone wants to be, and they arrive by all means possible. There is a fresh breeze blowing, and CathayOz loves a fresh breeze. We eat up the miles, weaving between the islands and through the narrow Solway Pass. One more point to round, and the anchor sets down in the clear, calm waters of Whitehaven.
As soon as the anchor is down, I'm straight into the water. My swimming style is all my own, but I get there.
Jackie is very excited, so after her swim, she's in the kayak and heading for the beach. People arrive at Whitehaven in all sorts of ways, but stepping off the float of a seaplane onto dry sand without dipping the Pradas earns points for style. All day the planes and tour boats arrive and leave, until finally all of the day trippers are gone and the anchorage settles into a more peaceful mood.
It is our anniversary, so we make a special meal to celebrate. One of the dishes is my favorite Western food, escargot with champagne. I wake up to a beautiful morning, and I'm greeted by these guys. The beach is deserted and all ready for another invention of boats and planes. Mornings like this are one of the best benefits of the cruising life. Today we are going to Hayman Island. We have stayed here before in a very nice resort, but this time we are arriving by boat instead of by plane, and want to experience the island from our new perspective. It is why I do this, because in the beautiful morning and you see the sunshine reflect the seawater is shining, sparkling, and on the other side of the water and the beautiful mountain, and and you see the nice view, and so happy, so relaxed.
The curiosity of this marina is that you cannot just go in and take your allocated berth. Here one must call to announce one's arrival and then wait for the concierge boat to come and guide you in.
We walk around and look into the shops and boutiques, then have a sandana at the yacht club before heading to a restaurant for dinner.
We've seen all there is to see in one day, and with the marina prices being a quantum higher here than anywhere else in the country, it's time for us to see more of the islands.
Everywhere you go in Whitsundays, there are walks to do and things to see. Bushwalking is something that I really haven't done enough of in my life. The feeling of using energy and seeing the nature world is a real tonic in a technology-driven world. There's space to think and time to reflect. I give thanks that my life now lets me do this. Even simply walking along a beach at the end of the day, when you can just allow yourself to see and feel without having to decode images and text and people wanting things from you, it is freedom itself.
Since we arrived in the Whitsunday Islands, we have been waiting for a weather window to get out to the reef. The reef is only a few hours sailing away, but to make the journey worthwhile in a sailing boat, it's best to go there when the weather is good enough to allow you to spend a night or two on the open ocean. That window has arrived, and we should be able to stay for 2 nights, so east we go to Bait Reef.
Snorkelling is something that has also come to me late in life. Before I met my captain, I had only once before put on a mask. Years ago, we had a holiday in Vanuatu, and he introduced me to the wonders of underwater world. I was instantly hooked, and now I pass him for every chance to get underwater. I'm very excited to get into the water, and we choose a spot on the western side of the reef where it is very shallow. The water is clear, but we see straight away that the reef is very badly damaged by cyclones.
Everywhere there is dead coral, and the scene is grey and dusty looking. The fish are here, but there is little for them in the extensive fields of broken coral that litter the ocean floor.
I decide to look in deeper water and dive down for a closer look. Here, there is more life and a little bit of color as the reef slowly comes back to life.
We head back to the boat and feel very disappointed with our first reef exploration.
Back at the boat, we found that our boat has been adopted by some batfish, a giant traveler, and a mara rays. The fish are friendly and curious and come quite close to me. I'm a little nervous because they are so big, but I'm also thrilled to be able to interact with them.
The sea is calm as the sun sets. We squint for the green light, but it isn't there. The next day we try the northern side of the reef. This part is much deeper and there are tall reefs reaching 10 metres from the bottom to the surface.
Instantly, the reef here is different. Color is everywhere, and there are so many different types of coral. I'm so happy. This is what I was hoping for, and the beauty of this underwater world is medicine we need after yesterday. There are fan corals, green corals, lilac-colored corals, and bright blue giant clams. Life is everywhere.
As we continue to be thrilled by the visual, we slowly realise that there's an aural difference over the usual crackling of sea life underwater.
It's whale song. It is so beautiful. There must be whales somewhere out there.
After our morning in the water, it's time for us to move on to another reef to check that out. On that reef they have a floating hotel with helicopters and massive ferries full of people, so we're not sure to what to make of the whole thing. We'll have a look, but can anything beat what we've seen this morning?
Not far out of the Barrier Reef, we see another catamaran about 3 miles away. That is not moving. Remembering the whale song from earlier, we think this definitely must be checked out. As we get closer, it is clear that there is a large whale near the cap. We cut the engines and drift downstream a bit. The whale breaks away from the other boat and comes to look us over.
Wow, look at this tail. As it swims under the boat, its size is truly breathtaking. We sit there slowly rolling on the ocean as the whale now goes back to the other boat. There are some children there, and the whale seems intensely interested.
It keeps spy-hopping and peering closely at the children. What can it be thinking? This experience on a clear, calm ocean on a beautiful sunny day is like a dream.
That's cool. We slowly move away and head towards our destination as the whale keeps interacting with the people on the other catamaran. It is an intimate connection, quite inspiring. Our visit to the other reef was not particularly interesting compared to Barrier Reef, and after our second night at sea we start the half-day journey back to our next destination at Hayman Island.
On the way back, what did we see? More whales. This time a mother and a calf, and another whale. Again, the display of the fan sleeping. How privileged we are. I think the whale will come to our I don't know where else in the world that we will sail where we will meet with whales. I do know that I feel very lucky to have had such wonderful meetings with them so far. I hope there are more in my future.
There is a great little wind blowing us back to the Whitsunday Islands. Our target today is Hayman Island. Here is one of the more expensive resorts in the islands around these parts. Forget the seaplanes, this one is choppers. Helicopters are everywhere in the Whitsundays.
There are so many of them buzzing around all the time. It's hard to get away from them and find some peace. I love sailing along on days like these. The light and the color and the warm wind come together to make me feel so alive. This is definitely what I signed up for.
We are going to a peculiar little bay at Hayman. Peculiar because the bay is so deep that it's not practical to anchor there. Instead, there are a number of mooring balls fixed to the bottom that are available to use. The Whitsundays are part of Queensland marine parks. All over the parks are mooring balls that are available for public use. In many places, the park's people would prefer that you use the mooring balls rather than anchor, as this is less damaging to the marine environment.
The mooring was very calm, and the water was beautifully clear. Straight away, we are adopted by a group of batfish. I sat on the sugar scoop and fed them a little. They are so friendly that you can easily stroke them as they go past.
Feeding bread to fish is a bit controversial. Overall, of course, it has some negative effects, such as conditioning. And there's also some fairly spurious opinions on bloating and processed foods ingredients. It's not something that we do a lot of, and try to be mindful to have a low impact on the environment. But sometimes it's just a peaceful activity. The next day, the trade winds are back in force and we have to abandon our lovely location as the wind pummels in.
What a shame! I really loved the little cove. We did some snorkeling there and enjoyed the peaceful surroundings. That afternoon, I played on a sand speed as the tide was coming in. I'm a child at these times. I don't want to think about all the problems in the world and the complication of keeping up with everything. I'm so happy just feeling the strong wind on my face and the cool water at my heels. It is enough.